Replacement windows, not in your budget this year? Well, what if you could save 20%? Renewal by Andersen, full-service replacement window division of Andersen, are putting windows back in your budget with this exclusive podcast-only offer. You know how much I love this and what a difference it makes. You owe it to yourself, people. You save 20% on windows, 20% on patio doors, an additional $20 on every window. Don't settle for low-end vinyl windows. Renewal by Andersen's composite Fibrex window material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, and you can save 20% on windows and patio doors, plus an additional $20 off each and every window with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. The air conditioning works better. It's so much quieter. The heater's better. Everything is better. Dust is down. So for a free renewal by Andersen Windows Diagnosis, call 1-800-406-8700. Again, 1-800-406-8700. 1-800-406-8700. Dawson.
Offer not available in all areas. Restrictions and conditions apply. Call for license information.
All right, let's bring him in here. I'm going to guess that Rocco Baldelli hasn't done many interviews in the last 2 hours. What's going on, Rocco? You're on with Mackey and Judd.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we've done a few, but you know what? I'm still good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, we enjoyed your introductory press conference, and especially your chiding of our close friend and colleague, Patrick Royce. Without missing a beat, you told him to be more open-minded, which we've been telling him for years on this show.
More you than me, Phil.
He was good. He was having fun with it.
Yep.
That's what we like. Yeah.
What would you say in terms of your career, even as a player, as a jack of all trades in the Rays organization, which managers and or leaders that you've been around have had the greatest impression on you?
So I've been fortunate. I've spent time around. Lou was my first manager, and I learned a lot of lessons from Lou. And you know what? Some of them were good, hard lessons, but he was always very fair. And then a different sort of manager came with Joe Madden, and then Tito in Boston the year I was there, and then the last 4 years with Kevin. And I've gotten to know Kevin through working with him firsthand, and I feel most comfortable probably talking about him. I got to watch him basically come in and grow over the last 4 years and continually learn and try to make himself better. He's really impressive, and he does it with a smile and creates a really cool atmosphere for the players to show up to every day. He's, in my opinion, clearly one of the best managers in baseball. I feel like that deep down. I have no issues saying it. And on top of that, he's a friend. He's helped me out in this through this process as much as anyone. And so I actually have a lot of fun. It's nice for me to be able to talk about him because he means a lot to me.
What do you perceive to be your strengths right now for this job, and where do you feel that you have the most room for growth or to learn now that you have this position?
So I think it's fair to say that I really believe that I have a lot of room for growth in just about every position. I think I have a ton of respect for this position and this job. And that's what makes me say that. I need to spend time around a lot of people and take advantage of all the resources that I can to even get in a position going into the season where I'm comfortable and where I'm ready to go. I think one thing that is clear is for me is that I want to create a really, really good, positive, relaxed environment for these guys to show up to, where me and myself and the staff get these players in a place where they want to be. It sounds like very vague, but it's not. It's actually getting these guys in the best position to go out there and play well. And I truly believe when guys are not comfortable and are not confident and don't know where they necessarily stand, they probably won't play as well as if they are. So that's generally my main goal, and something that I think we were able to do in Tampa Bay, and Kevin is the biggest part of that.
Rocco Baldelli, a new Twins manager, with us here on Mackey and Judd. I said this to the guys here last hour. I want you to, from your perspective, tell me if I'm onto something. It feels like for 10 or 15 years, the arms race in baseball in front offices and with coaching staffs and on the field was gathering information that no other team had. But now it's almost like all the information is widely available, and if teams are open to it, they can gather information. And it feels like the arms race is, how do you communicate and disseminate information to human beings, right? To guys who have different backgrounds and guys who have different personalities. And I would feel like that is a really, really important piece to success in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, everything I was thinking, you kind of made some of these points for me, and you explained it very well. I think that makes very good sense. And teams have very good information. A lot of teams have pretty solid information to work off of. It's just finding the best ways to apply it. And if you could have the best information in the world, if you can't apply it, it's almost useless. And not just useless, it could actually be a negative, because if you really can't apply it at all and you can't explain it or talk about it, it almost becomes a detriment and something that you have to work around. But I totally agree with what you're saying, and that's still a challenge. You know, I have a decent background in Tampa Bay. My experiences there and the people I've spent time with prepared me, I think, to be sitting here talking with you right now. But even I have to admit, these are challenges. You know, trying to introduce new thoughts and new ideas into a sport where things have been done the same way for a long time. That's not easy, and it's also not easy because we're just doing what we think is best. It doesn't even necessarily mean we know that what we're doing is always 100% correct. So you're basically, in some ways, maybe not shooting at a moving target, but these are challenges that you have to deal with in the clubhouse on a regular basis.
So how key is it to go down that path of keeping things simple? Because it seems to me now we've entered into an era of baseball where we want to make things as difficult as possible or as elongated as possible. How much of this comes back to going to the athlete and keeping things as simple as you can? Probably a lot of it.
Again, that's another really good point, and it's a great principle to live by, I think, when you're just dealing with people. When you're trying to talk about something that is potentially complicated, you don't want to explain it if you're trying to explain it to someone and get the most out of whatever that information is, you really want to boil it down as much as you can, and the best messages and bullet points and doing it as concisely as possible. That's the way to get the most out of it, I think, in a lot of ways. And maybe there are instances where you do want to get a little more specific and spend some more time on some things. But I think you can get a long way with just the good, solid, concise bullet points.
Yeah. All right, I got. Let's get to the real stuff here. Do they prep you for Sid Hartman before these introductory press conferences?
I loved him. He was just inducted into, Dustin, which Hall of Fame? The Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame this week, and I think everyone honestly was very happy to recognize him and see him here. He was great.
Yeah.
But did they prep you for the fact that he was going to ask a question without the mic, which they had told people to have the wireless mic? Rocco, that's the question.
There's going to be a dude in the front row just shouting things at you. You're going to have to answer it. That's probably the preparation.
You know what? Dustin over here and everyone prepared me for, I think, just about everything that came up. So I felt okay walking into the room. I really did.
Yep. And never ever be afraid to throw fastballs back at Patrick Royce. I don't know if you've interacted with him in the past, but you can zing him high and tight. Okay.
If you know what, if I can't have fun, I'm really not sure how to act. So I'm in.
Yes.
I'm totally in.
Yeah, and feel free also, as we're giving you free advice, to bring back the dance parties after victories. If you want to put some techno music and disco ball, liven things up in there.
You know what? Whatever the players want to do in that regard, I think they should do, because I think them having a good time and celebrating when it's the time to do that is I think that's part of the game.
Right on. Rocco Baldelli.
Thanks, Rocco. Nice talking to you,
guys. Thank you.
All right, that's the new manager of the Minnesota Twins, Rocco Baldelli.
Replacement windows. Not in your budget this year? Well, what if you could save 20%? Renewal by Andersen, full service replacement window division of Andersen, are putting windows back in your budget with this exclusive podcast only offer. You know how much I love this and what a difference it makes. You owe it to yourself, people. You save 20% on windows, 20% on patio doors, an additional $20 on every window. Don't settle for low-end vinyl windows. Renewal by Anderson's composite Fibrex window material is 2 times stronger than vinyl. And you can save 20% on windows and patio doors, plus an additional $20 off each and every window with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. The air conditioning works better. It's so much quieter. The heater's better. Everything is better. Dust is down. So for a free renewal by Anderson Windows Diagnosis, call 1-800-406-8700. Again, 1-800-406-8700. 1-800-406-8700. Dawson.
Offer not available in all areas. Restrictions and conditions apply. Call for license information.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. President Trump complains he's being blamed for the mail bombs addressed to his critics. Investigators reportedly believe some of those packages may have originated in Florida. The FBI's Bill Sweeney.
I'm not going to get into specifically where we think the packages came from. Some were obviously delivered or in the postal system. I'll leave it at that.
None of the bombs exploded. President Trump has a plan to lower prices for some prescription drugs. He says it would keep Americans from having to pay much more than those in other countries for the same medications.
We're taking aim at the global freeloading that forces American consumers to subsidize lower prices in foreign countries.
We're told the president will send hundreds of active duty military troops to the border with Mexico. President Trump is vowing to stop thousands of immigrants who are walking toward the U.S. in a caravan. I'm Rita Foley.